the Wake Up and Live with the Art Show, the performing and cultural arts program which celebrates and showcases the diversity of the arts and performing artists in Northeast Ohio. Welcome to this edition of Wake Up and Live with the Arts. I'm Sue Johnson, one of your co-hosts, along with my guys, James McGilbray to my far right, and the only Gary Webster in the universe to my right.
And that's something to be thankful for.
Oh, yes. So we are, as we say, gathered here together today at the beautiful Greenmont Party Center out in South Euclid, Ohio, where Ivy Trailer, our host and our sponsor, allows us to use this great facility to showcase and celebrate our diverse artists from around Northeast Ohio. And today, thanks to James, we have two old friends back with us. Tell us who's joining us.
Well, they're two young friends, but they've been friends for a long time. We have Stephon J. Davis and Bryant Anderson, filmmakers, just wonderful artists. Terrific artist. I'll be real careful not to call him wonderful.
You're going to call him wonderful.
And Lawrence Welk has left the building.
Wonderful, absolutely. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to seeing Bryant and Stephon, talking with them about what they've done recently and what they're doing now and what's coming up. And
they are encore guests. It's been a while since we've seen Bryant. Stephon was here not terribly long ago, and they've been busy ever since. So James and Gary are going to spend some time chatting with them. And then afterwards, what we're going to do is Lester Bryant, our senior videographer and editor, we are going to put together couple of the YouTube clips that you may not have seen, where we interview Reverend Dr. Brian Moore, director of Passages of the Fatherhood Initiative, whose group I work with to do A New You for a New Life. And you're going to meet Lou Bellamy and Lisa Craig from the Cleveland Playhouse. Lou was here a couple months ago now, but his interview is so fascinating about theater, and we love to showcase theater along with the film that we're doing tonight.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to showcase briefly one of the YouTube favorites we've done, and one of Gary's favorites, and that would be who?
That would be Soma.
Soma, the exotic belly dancer.
That's
who
everyone's
mesmerized the viewing audience. So without further ado, James, we're going to get ready, and we're going to meet Stephon J. Davis and Bryant Anderson.
Looking forward to it.
This television program, play acts performances, and our New Life, New Image project are being brought to you in part with the generous support of our producing partners.
And now, the segment that we promised, two wonderful, terrific, stupendous, fabulous filmmakers. Let's see, is there anything else that I can use as a superlative? None necessary.
They're great!
There we go. Okay, I knew we missed one. We are going to talk with Stephon Davis and Bryant Anderson, two Cleveland and Cleveland area filmmakers who are doing some amazing things, including a film that I was very privileged to be a part of, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. My name is James McGilbray, and I'm here with our co-host Gary Webster, and we'll get started right away. First of all, it's good to have both of you, Stephon.
Oh, pleasure.
And Bryant, nice to have both of you on the show.
Thank you.
And the first thing I want to know is, how long have you been doing work as filmmakers? It seems like I've been hearing your names for even longer than I've known you.
Well, I've been in filmmaking for the last 8 years. I started out doing camera work for Robert Banks and things like that, and just doing the free stuff, you know, getting on the set whenever I can, and then I did some acting, done theater, down at Cleveland State when I attended Cleveland State. Then I got into screenwriting, and now finally into directing. So.
Oh, excellent. A Renaissance man. Done a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And what about you, Stephon?
About the same, about 8 to 10. Kind of started out more in the video production realm, though. You know, education and background in television, and, you know, get my hands and feet wet with a few different things and projects, but gradually kind of moved more into the filmmaking, and of course enjoying that a lot more because it's just, you know, it's a blast. So.
Both of you guys, when you originally got involved, as you said, you were behind the scenes, which I think is probably the way that just about everybody has to break into it, get your feet wet. Did you already at that point know that you wanted to write your own stuff and produce your own stuff, or did you get the bug after you had seen how it was done?
Well, for me, I didn't have any clue. It's like it was something I was interested in, and I just wanted to get on the set. And then as I learned more, and as I, you know, work with people who were screenwriters and sat down with directors, and they saw how enthused I was about it, they started giving me tips and everything, and telling me what books to read, and I would write some scripts, and they were like, read them and say, well, you know, this here, you know, that character is not strong enough, or, you know, just the little tips to make the story move along and everything. So, and then, you know, I took that and just, you know, a lot of times just sat in a room by myself and spent a lot of alone time just trying to make my craft better and better. And as I got better, I wanted to learn more and do more, and that's how I just got into the directing. That was just the next step, you know.
And you as well, Stephon?
Yeah, pretty much a gradual process. I think I was just anxious and excited to just do anything. You know, if I could do a little bit of camera work, editing, just wanted to be in the industry and be in the business and things. So, but the more and more I kind of honed my skills, and the more I, you know, really thought about where I wanted to take it into that direction, I felt like, you know, if I could actually write and produce and direct things, that really be the ultimate goal for me.
Well, and what things do you have to your credit to this point that maybe people already know about or should know about?
Well, it's from a standpoint of just doing a lot of different things. I was a cinematographer for, of course, The Day of Racism. But prior to that, there was a movie called Crack. That was a feature. Cheap Sunglasses. So, you know, I teamed up with various people throughout my, you know, career as far as features and shorts and things. The one I directed was Appearances. That's the last time I was here, you know, making my round back around here. But that was Appearances. I directed that one. So, you know, I have my hands on a lot of different projects, music videos and whatnot. So, just been pretty much staying busy.
Okay, and you, Bryant?
The things I've done Get 'Em, won an award at the Indie Gathering for crime drama. I did Random Violence that played at festivals.
That was just a couple of years
ago. Yeah, a few years ago. I did a film finale that played at several film festivals. A film festival, Meteor Makers in Atlanta, and every film I've done has played in a festival. So I've been, you know, kind of glad of that a third party outside of myself, and you know, felt that you know, my work was genuine enough to be shown to the public.
That is a great validation.
Yeah,
isn't it? I am in the same situation you are. I've been involved in films that have been submitted. A friend of mine and I had a film that we wrote, directed, produced, the whole 9 yards, submitted to the Geauga Film Festival. Not a huge film festival, but nonetheless, they not only liked it, it was the first film they ran of the entire festival. It is such a tremendous validation, isn't it? When somebody who doesn't know you from the Man in the Moon, as opposed to your friends and relatives who have to like what you do, and then they tell you, this is good, we want to use this.
Absolutely. That just happened to me. I did a real quick, I was mentioning earlier, a little skit about Facebook, and I just submitted it to the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival, and they accepted it. They just called me yesterday, actually, and they accepted it, loved it, and thought it was, you know, really, you know, just cute and things. It's just funny, you know. So I was kind of excited because, just like you say, I mean, just for someone to accept something is great, you know. Then you want that next step, of course, to get that award. Then you really feel good.
Well, the current project is one, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I was very happy and pleased to be a part of, and that's A Day of Racism. It's a very intense film, And there are a couple of trailers that are available on it. I think we'll be able to insert one in this piece, but and you can also go on YouTube to see some of that. But tell me, first of all, a little bit about A Day of Racism, you know, what the premise is, and why you decided to make this film, Bryant.
A Day of Racism is a story about a young man's beginnings and his journey to end racism. It's told through backstory about racist events on a particular day that directly and indirectly propelled him to that point. And he tells this story to a group of teenagers through a youth group that he establishes to end racism. And that's how the story takes off. And I wrote the story to reflect the reality of the way racist people think along both sides of the issue. And so we have, you know, the typical, you know, Caucasian male who is a racist, but also, you know, you play the character of the black activist who spews the racist rhetoric as well. So you get both sides of the issue, and I wanted to write it in a true manner that people say, okay, that is how people really speak.
Well, and there's some irony in that too, because sometimes racism manifests itself as something grand and liberating. In other words, there's a different language that's used. We have to protect ourselves. We have to, you know, do for us, and you know, it's us against them.
Yeah.
And once that kind of rhetoric gets started, people don't think of it necessarily as racist. In fact, some people who are racist fancy themselves to be civil rights leaders, or you know, other kinds of people who think they're making a positive difference in the community, and it's only when you really listen to what they're saying that you say, oh no, this just isn't right.
Yeah, what I liked about it was just bringing out the awareness of it. You know, it's a real issue that we are faced with, and it's kind of in the closet, so to speak. So I really liked that I had the chance to work with Bryant on the film, because it was a chance to really, you know, bring out something that people try to kind of hide and conceal.
Right. Well, and in fact, just so that the audience knows, there's a reason for this glorious red, white, and blue tie.
You're running for county council, right? And you're announcing it tonight.
I'm actually running away from the county council. But this was used as one of the things in the film, and of course, one of the things that sometimes people do when they express racism is they dress themselves up in the red, white, and blue.
Yes, yes.
And you know, I won't make any current political references, but one knows that that happens. As far as the trailer for this movie, what does that basically, what will people see when they see the trailer?
The trailer it shows quick clips of the film, and the trailer itself shows a little story of you know, action, violence, love, and there's like, you know, quick flashes of the title that plays in the video, along with music. And I wanted the audience to you know, when they see it, they have to like watch it again. Like, you know, it's not one of those 2-minute clips where it's kind of drawn out. You know, it is quick images, and you say, hey, let me watch that again. I thought I seen something there.
The niggas want everything, Tim. They do. They want our lifestyles, our jobs, our women.
Well, now, and let's go step back for just a moment, because you know, there are various roles. We know what the actors do, but you know, you're the director,
Yeah.
and you know, there's a producer,
Yeah.
and so what? Let's start with Stephon. What was your role in this production, and explain so that people know what it is that a person who is doing what you were doing does, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I came in as a cinematographer, so you know, I was basically behind the scenes, you know, set up shots and things like that. You know, Brian would tell me what he was looking for, and I would, you know, try to find good angles and things like that. Also help set up lights and things like that, just to kind of, because lighting is so critical. You know, you want to make sure your lights are set up just right for the scene. So, you know, my job really was to make it look as pleasing as possible. Really, to, you know, make sure that the light is you know, shining on the actors just right, and you know, the whole scene looks good.
Okay. And Bryant, you're the director.
Yes,
and the writer,
yeah,
of course. But
yeah,
what were your...
yeah, writer, director, you know, producer.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to comment on was I wanted to bring Stephon on to the project. I had seen some of his work before. Him and I had talked to each other years ago at some other events and things, and I really wanted to get him on, to work with him, get him on a project. I felt that him and I could make magic together, so to speak, and I trusted that I trust his eyes, so that way I could be more of a actor's director, you know, where I could be concerned with the performance and leave that aspect of the film to him. And I think he did a splendid job. It's not one piece of footage that I looked at that I, you know, did not like. Everything I was amazed, you know. So I definitely felt that he, I mean, outside of myself, he was really another strong piece of the project to bring the project to life.
Well, and speaking of you know, big things and people involved and such, I'd like to have you mention some of the lead actors, the names of some of those people, because we want to make sure that people understand that there's a really nice cast involved with this. Who are some of the lead actors in this production?
We have Robert Grant, who plays the lead character, Jaheen. He's the one that this story is going through, and he did a great audition, and he has done a lot of theater work, and he just blew us away with the audition, and he comes in with a strong piece.
Okay.
And we have some newcomers. We have Yulisa. She's a Hispanic actress, and our project is one of the first things she done outside of what she done in college. And we have with this film, what I wanted to do was have a variety of you know, of races and cultures, right. So people could see themselves in this film, and the casting was very important. I wanted to get people who were experienced, but also wanted to work with people who this was their first film, and just get all that mixed in together.
Yeah, it was fun to watch that mix too.
Yeah,
I agree.
Now, how many film festivals are you planning to submit this to, or have you made that decision at this point?
Well, at this point, we want to have a North American premiere at a major film festival. If it's Sundance or Toronto Film Festival or something in that nature. But we also want to have it shown in theater out in Los Angeles, so we could prepare it to be submitted to the Academy. We're striving for a short film nomination for this film. Stephon and I talked about this before we even started casting or anything. What will be the purpose of the film after we make the film? And that was one of the things we wanted to do, was have it go to major film festivals and build up the buzz, submit it to the Academy, and hopefully get nominated and win, and have this be our calling card to propel our career.
Now, you're near the end of production right now, right? You haven't quite entered post-production. Is that the case, or?
Yes, we have one scene left to shoot, and we're going to shoot that early April. Mm-hmm. And then we're going straight into post-production and the promotional plan of the project.
And when do you expect the film to be ready to begin to for people to see it?
We're going to take at least a month for post-production, and we're going to prepare from there.
Now, Stephon, I saw something in your biography which I think kind of ties into what we're talking about now, because we are talking about submitting the film to which film festivals. Your biography indicated that you were involved in a television pilot that you were able to interest in, among other networks, arts and entertainment. I am really curious to know what your process was there. How did you manage to get a big network like A&E to say they wanted to see what you've done?
Well, it was interesting, in the long process, actually.
That's okay, we have time.
Well, I can say it faster than it actually took place, so that's good. Well, you know, I partnered up with a guy, his name was Dave. We actually kind of, well, Delonte, but he kind of goes by Dave, but we partnered up on a project called Landlords. So basically it's like a reality show premise, and you kind of, you know, follow the landlords around and see their day-to-day type of things like that take place. So with it being so, I guess you could say, different from at the time. I mean, this was about 4 years ago when we first, you know, started working on the project. So we, you know, found talent and things like that, and we put it all together, got not to a pilot together. And he so happened to move out to Los Angeles because his wife does the news. She's a meteorologist and got a gig out there for the LA station. So, you know, he was out there pretty much shopping it around and everything, met some other producers and things like that. They really liked it. So basically, because of connections and things, that's what I always say, you know, you have to network and connect, and that's really how, with this industry, that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah,
so,
it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely. So I think more than that, more so than anything, was because of that. So we were able to kind of get in there and present it, and they liked it. They actually made us an offer, and at the time we thought it was too low, so we kind of blew that. Because afterwards there was like, that was like the main bite, really, was that, you know, the A&E thing. So
well, and money is always a key thing. In fact, even in making this film, how do you go about financing a film like this when you're an independent film producer?
Well, we did some fundraising through Indiegogo. We did some fundraising there, and then some personal funds myself. You know, when you're an independent filmmaker, these films, a lot of times you are financing them yourself. You know, and you're calling the dentist, your uncle, you know, your parents, you know.
Fry.
Yeah, you do the fundraising thing, you know, at restaurants or, you know, other places. You're really trying to seek money so you could. It's all about acquiring talent for your film, and be in front of the camera and behind the camera. And so, I mean, you know, people have, you know, families to
Well,
feed
and I know
like
it was your intention to hopefully be able to pay the actors
Right.
and different things.
Right.
So that means that there's probably a need for ongoing funding.
Yes.
And people who are watching this today and who are interested in the subject, you know, this subject is very poignant now.
Yes.
With the situation with Trayvon down in Florida. You know, we don't want to characterize anyone's motivations here, but you know, there is certainly a discussion of racism in the national press, in part because of that event which happened this week. And excuse me, for people who are interested in this subject, and especially from the point of view that you're bringing it, how insidious it can be, how might they go about making a contribution or otherwise becoming involved in helping you complete this project and finance this project?
Yes, they can go to Indiegogo.com. They can type in "A Day of Racism," and the website will pop up. And if you want to leave a message or anything like that, that's fine. And I check that every day. And I will respond to whatever, you know, how they want to participate. Some people, you know, want to participate by helping with the funds, but some people like to participate by providing services, you know, with catering and things of that nature, or with props. Right. And I mean, there's so many ways to participate in filmmaking that is outside of just receiving money. And I encourage people to participate in film because it is an art, you know. And to me, if more people get involved in the arts, the better. So, you know, you don't have to be, you know, rich or anything like that.
Right.
You just got to have the passion and the will to just participate.
Well, now that you guys are filmmakers, are there any particular filmmakers that have influenced you that maybe you want to emulate, whose style you particularly enjoy?
I mean, well, for me, there's pretty much three filmmakers. There's Martin Scorsese. I like the visual violence that he brings across on film. I like Roger Corman. He's very good with exploitation in terms of the horror genre. And I mean, he's been so successful with over 100 films, making a profit. And I grew up with Spike Lee, with the social consciousness behind his films. So those three really plays a part in how I write and view films.
What about you, Stephon?
I mean, I would say like Spielberg is just the master of really, you know, directing and things. But I'm kind of with him with the Spike Lee thing. I think that was one of the first actors not actors, but directors that I was kind of drawn to, just because of the, you know, whole message behind the movie and things like that. And every time you can kind of bring social awareness out, and I think that's what we kind of did with, you know, Day of Racism.
Yeah.
So, you know, I definitely like what Spike does.
Now, do you have a website, excuse me, currently for A Day of Racism, or do you intend to in the near future? I presume you're going to in the near future.
Yes, in the near future. Not right now, but if anyone wants to contact me, you could go to Facebook, put in Bryant Anderson 1968, and I'll, you know, pop up there. You could go to the Indiegogo.com, put in A Day of Racism, that title, and contact me there. And my phone number, I can be reached at area code 216-441-5718.
All right.
And
repeat that again for the people.
Area code 216-441-5718.
All right. And what about you, Stephon? How would people contact you if they wanted to be involved with what you're doing?
Well, as long as you spell it correctly, Stephon J. Davis. That can pretty much get you to me. My website, StephonJDavis.com. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, it's all / Stephon J. Davis. So,
That's D-A-V-I-S, right? You got to make sure you spell that right.
and it's O-N. Some people think A-N-E-N, but yeah, it's Stephon J. Davis. And you got to put the J in there, otherwise you can't find it. So.
Well, let me just say before we wrap up, this is this film, I think, is very, very important, and especially in today's times. And what I hope the people who are watching this today will do is contact Bryant and Stephon and say, you know, how can we be a part of this? It would be well worth your time and your effort, and you know, it would be a social good as well. So I want to encourage that. Is there anything else that that you're involved in now that you want us to know before we go? Any particular projects that are coming up, I should say?
Well, in May we're going to be doing a film called Jesus or No Jesus. Stephon and I, and
Jesus or No Jesus?
Yeah, yes, that's the title, Jesus or No Jesus.
That's provocative.
And real quick, it's a story about a man who loses his faith that goes and robs pastors.
All right, then. Well, and on that note, we are going to wrap it up. That's wonderful. See, now you have so much to look forward to as far as the work of Bryant Anderson and Stephon J. Davis. Stephon, Bryant, very much a pleasure having you on the program. I want to wish you the best of success with the Day of Racism and with your upcoming projects as well. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us, and we will continue with more of Wake Up and Live with the Arts.